up with for us? One of those romantic boy meets girl, boy loses girl stories?
It's better than that.
Okay guys, what's going on? So what we're going to need to do first is take this battery out. As you can see, Chris went ahead and wrote his name on here, or B&H, when the battery was purchased, and then he wrote battery number 7. So apparently he's got a lot of these, but what we need to do is extract this battery management system out of this, and we found the easiest way to do that is with a product called Glue Buster. To do this properly, what you're going to do is open this up. You're going to pick up your battery, and you're going to follow the lines all the way around with the Glue Buster. Alright, so I'm going to put a nice coating over everything. We're going to let that sink in, get all up in there, all the way around. We're going to come up here, glue bust this whole side of it. As you guys can see, just putting a nice big batch of it on here, letting it leak in. We're going to go ahead and give that about a minute, and we'll go from there. So you just have to kind of let this stuff sit for a sec, and it'll automatically let you pull the case apart yourself. So it was as simple as just putting the Glue Buster around the outside of the case where you could see the opening, and then all you have to do, let's see if it's ready here. All you have to do, put a finger here, push down. I'm going to start to pry up and see if it's ready to come up yet. I'm going to turn it on its side here. And it's coming apart. There she is. It was that simple, guys. It is apart now. We're going to let that sit for a second and dry out. But as you can see, that Glue Buster goes ahead and just removes all the plastic. Actually, if you grab it, you'll see that it'll become quite brittle from the Glue Buster. See how it's just falling apart? You can just kind of grab it and break pieces of it off. That's the Glue Buster. So don't think that you're going to be reusing the plastic case after this. So I'm going to let this dry out, and then we'll move on to step 2. I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright guys, welcome back. This is part 2, and there's a couple things we're going to talk about. Number 1, how dangerous these batteries are if you puncture them on accident. So when you're doing this part, be very, very careful. You're not actually going to have to extract the battery. I'll go ahead and explain that here in a sec. And this is probably the hardest part of this whole thing. But I find the easiest thing to do is you can see that the cells are staggered here. So to get the Molex connector out, which is obviously loose, you're just going to pull the BMS board out. But to do that, you have to grab it, pinch it like this, take your 2 fingers, pinch the top cell, and you're going to slide the top cell. You're going to give some pressure, and you're just going to take the BMS and you're going to slowly push, and it'll fit right out the side, and you don't actually have to extract the battery, as you guys can see here. So we'll go ahead and pull this up, being very, very careful because there are wires in here. And we're going to go ahead and keep pulling. There we go. So the BMS is ready to be cut out now. So I'm going to remove this yellow tape and have a look at the next part of this that we're going to have to do. Alright, so next thing you guys are going to want to do is this is the battery thermal wire. It's just attached by a little piece of yellow tape. You're just going to go ahead and give a little pull here. Just be careful. And it is glued to the battery, as you can see. So now that has been removed. You're going to need to keep this piece. And let's see if I can get this yellow tape off of here. I'm going to go ahead and just pull the yellow tape out the bottom. I am also going to disconnect, so we can get this out of the way. I'm going to disconnect the balance port from the BMS here. So this is the current balance port here, guys. And we're just going to give a little pull. Oops. This one's being stubborn. Doesn't want to come out of there. There we go. Got it that time. Okay. So, good to go. Balance port has been disconnected now. And I'm also going to disconnect the power wire here, if I can, the harness for the power wire. And what we're going to carefully do from this step here is make sure that you're not touching anything. I'm going to go ahead and grab some scissors here, guys. And if you want, you can desolder. That's completely up to you. I am going to go ahead and cut the red first. And make sure the red stays clear of everything here. You do not want it to make contact with the battery, so I'm going to go ahead and slide it up underneath. And then I'm going to come, let me make this a little easier on myself, over to here. And we're going to cut this one off too. There we go. So the BMS has been cut out and extracted, but we still have to get the power button out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. Get all this extra plastic out of here. So that's our BMS, which we're going to be soldering to all these wires later. But now we need to get the balance lead, which has to be cut off of the balance pack here on the top. All we need is these wires here. So we're just going to end up cutting this like this. But you have to do each individual wire by itself separately, because unfortunately these have power running through them. So we're going to go ahead and stand these up. I'm going to cut one. We're going to move that one out of the way. I'm going to pull up right here. We're going to cut number 2. Get that one up out of the way. Number 3. Let's get these out of the way here. Number 3. Get that one out of the way. Number 4. It's right here. And of course, number 5. All right, so we now have the balance port extracted, which I'm going to be replugging back in here. Okay, if I can get this turned around. Oh, it's going to put up a little fight with me here. There we go. Okay. This is what we'll be connecting a female balance port to, which we'll talk about here in a sec. So this is how you're going to balance your battery. Thermal, and now we still need to remove the power switch, because that is going to be reconnected right here. But most of these solo batteries, and this may be a bit of a struggle for you guys here. Let's get this out of the way. This may be a slight struggle for you guys, but sometimes these are actually really, really in there and they take some work. So what we found the easiest thing to do here, guys, was to take a little bit of your glue buster and just let it slide down there on the clip like that. Give it a sec, wiggle it back and forth, and it pops right out like a boss. No extra work having to be done. So there you go. Take this in the back and dry it off real quick. Get all that extra stuff off of there. And I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so you've extracted everything you need. You're done with this. Go ahead and take this outside. Fill a bucket full of water and salt. A good amount. Throw it in there. After a couple days, it'll kill this battery pack and you'll be able to throw it in the trash can. You don't need this or this anymore. You're done with that. Go ahead and take your power wire, plug it back in, like so. If I can get it on here, probably upside down here. There we go. And now you have your on-off switch. right here, your balance port, and a place to solder on your XT60 connector, which we're going to be talking about here in a sec. So this is your XT60 female connector. That's going to go on the red and the black wire. That way you can plug into a 4S battery of your choice. But now we need a female balance port, which is right here. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys how to wire this balance port up correctly. In the next video, we're going to show all the soldering, all the shrink wrapping, all that fun jazz in the next video so you guys can see how to do this. So thanks for sticking around. I'll see you guys in part 3. Okay guys, because the lighting was so bad for this and my LED just kind of overpowers the white connectors, I'm going to go ahead and just set a few pictures on the side so you can see the exact pin out here and what way these need to be set up. But this is in order of the wires and how they go on here. So red to black, 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 black. So the only difference in color here is going to be the red and black one, but from the pictures you'll be able to decipher which side goes up and which side goes down on either side. So this is the correct pin out. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. Alrighty guys, because this is such an easy process here, I'm going to go ahead and just speed this up, and I'll see you guys once the time lapse is done. So I'm just going to twist and put the tube on. So first thing we're going to do is put the tubes on.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent. Oh, yeah. It stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm going to be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
Alright guys, this one is ready to be plugged into the board. It's good to go. We're going to go ahead and take the BMS and we are going to plug it in like so. There you go. This is ready. It's ready to be plugged into a 4S battery now. So now the next thing we have to do is solder the connection on here. As you can see, I already have the tubing ready. So we're going to go ahead and heat up the solder gun, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright guys, I've got everything ready here. I got my heat shrink on here ready to go. All we're going to do is split these up a little bit. We're going to open the wiring up, open the wiring up. We're going to do the black first. We're going to kind of open these up a bit. We're going to mesh them together like so. And we're going to go ahead and just close the top. So we're going to put one right over the other like this until we have a nice little good connection all the way around, just like that. And now we're going to take the solder gun and have some fun. I didn't want to tin these because I need them to go together, so what we are going to do is just like this, all the way around. Beautiful. We're going to do that just to get us started here. Now we're going to move on to old red. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to open this up a bit, open these up. We're going to mesh them together like so, and then we're going to close them on top of each other. That way we have a good wire mesh. I'm going to try to smooth it out as much as possible, like so. And we're going to do the same thing to this side here. So, solder gun, starting at the joint. Give it a little tap all the way across the top here. Now we got a good amount of solder on there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nice little joint. Nice little joint on both sides here. Excellent. Put this aside. Should be good to go. We are. Let's slide these heat shrink sleeves over the top, like so. Heat shrink sleeve over the top. Pull these out away from the board a bit, and let's go ahead and heat these up. Let's get this one out of the way here. All right, black is done. Let's do red now. Give those a little break. Excellent. Okay. Boom. Good to go. You can tell which one's red and black. And let's go ahead and put our balance port back on there. And congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, you have a 100% completed battery management system ready to attach to a 4S lipo. All right, what's going on there, guys? So I've got the 5200 placed in here now. BMS is connected. It has had a full charge. I'm going to go ahead and crank on the solo here. And this is going to be the first flight after my second charge now. This will be the second charge cycle. And this time we do have the gimbal and camera on there. And we're going to see what kind of flight time we get. All right, let's have a little bit of fun here. Waiting for solo. Let's turn this on. Turn on the battery. Give it a second to communicate. Starting up as usual. Let's go ahead and see if we got this going. Yes, okay. I'm going to step under this tree so I can actually see. All right, currently says we have 97% battery at 16.60 volts using Solex. And remember, at 14 volts, it will automatically RTH. Okay. You do not want to fly past 15%. It will start to hurt the cells. So you should be able to see the timer up here in the corner. It says time as soon as they start to fly. That should kick on. So let's get this in the air and see what kind of flight time we get here.
Gyro calibration
Motion
failed.
detected. Does this every once in a while. This is why you get the green cube.
Altitude 0.0 inches.
Excellent. We are now recording. We are in flight.
593.04.
Let's go have a little bit of fun here.
347 degrees. Signal 73%.
Gonna take it up higher.
Recording active.
There we go. Let's go take it for a cruise here.
Waiting for GPS. Disarmed. Battery is too low for flight. Recording active. Ready for takeoff. Not recording. Need GPS lock. Vehicle must